The dog's instinct battlefield was quiet. Too quiet. Smoke still rose from broken machines. The ground was black with ash. Twisted metal lay everywhere. Once there had been shouting, fire, and death. Now only silence remained. But silence did not mean safety. A dog knew this better than any man. The dog moved slowly through the ruins. His ears twitched. His nose sniffed the air. Every broken wall carried the smell of blood. Every shadow whispered of danger. He had seen battles before. He had followed his master into fire and smoke many times. But this time something was different. Something felt wrong. The dog growled low in his throat. His tail was stiff. His paws pressed carefully against the rubble. He stopped near a pile of stone. The scent there was strong, sharp, alive. Not the smell of death, not the smell of ash. It was something else, something still breathing. His master, a human soldier, walked behind him slowly. The man's uniform was torn, his face marked with dirt. He carried his rifle low, tired from days without rest. He trusted the dog more than he trusted his own eyes, because the dog never lied. If the dog growled, there was danger. If the dog barked, there was truth. The man whispered, "What is it?" The dog barked once, sharp and certain. The sound echoed against the broken walls. The man raised his rifle, scanning the shadows. His heart beat faster. Enemies could be hiding. Traps could be waiting. The war had taught him that nothing was ever simple. The dog barked again, pawing at the stones. Something shifted beneath them. The man froze, finger on the trigger. He had expected silence. Maybe a machine left behind, but what he heard was different. It was a sound too faint to be an engine, too weak to be a trap. It was the sound of breathing, ragged and pained. The man crouched low. He touched the rubble with his hand, feeling the vibration. The dog whined and looked at him with urgent eyes. There was life under the stone, but life could mean enemy. Life could mean danger. Still, the dog did not back away. He stood his ground. Tail stiff, ears forward. He wanted his master to know this mattered. The soldier's mind raced. If it was a human, it could be a comrade. If it was alien, it could be a trick. He had seen enemy soldiers hide grenades in their own chests. He had seen wounded aliens explode rather than be captured. He had every reason to walk away. But the dog barked again, louder this time. The sound carried not fear but command, as if saying, "Do not leave this one. It is important." The man cursed under his breath. He pressed his rifle against the stones, ready to fire. With his free hand he pulled at the rubble. The dust rose. His lungs burned. The dog kept barking, tail whipping side to side now. Something shifted again, and then he saw it. A flash of skin not like his own, armor cracked, glowing faintly even as it bled. An alien soldier lay half buried. Its chest rose and fell weakly. Its eyes closed. Its lips parted with shallow gasps. This was no dead body. This was a living enemy. The man stiffened, pulling his rifle up instantly. His finger tightened on the trigger. This was the enemy he had fought for months. This was the creature that had taken his friends. This was the face of the war. And yet, his dog did not growl now. The dog did not snarl or bare his teeth. The dog only stood beside the alien, watching it with calm, steady eyes. The man whispered, "What are you doing?" He expected his dog to leap, to attack. But instead the dog sniffed the alien's broken armor. He circled once, then sat down beside it. His tail wagged once, slow and certain. He looked back at his master as if to say, "This one is not threat. This one is not enemy." The man's breath shook. He had trained to kill aliens on sight. He had been told they were monsters, beasts with no heart, no mercy. But now he stood there, rifle ready, and his dog, the creature who trusted instincts more than any human, chose not to attack, chose not to fear. The silence pressed heavy between man and beast. The alien's breathing rasped through the rubble. The soldier's heart pounded in his chest. Every lesson of war told him to end it now. Pull the trigger, remove the danger, move on. But his dog's steady gaze told him another truth. A truth that shook him deeper than any weapon. Sometimes instinct saw what training could not. The man lowered his rifle slowly. Not fully, not completely, but enough to show he was listening. The dog let out a single bark, softer this time. It was not a warning, not a cry. It was a signal of trust, a signal that this wounded life meant something. The soldier sighed, his hand shaking. He had no idea what choice he would make, but he knew one thing clearly. The dog had led him here for a reason, and that reason was only beginning to reveal itself. The battlefield was quiet again, but inside the soldier's heart, the noise was deafening. War told him one answer, his dog told him another, and somewhere between them, the future was waiting to be decided. The Discovery man stood frozen above the rubble, his rifle pointed down at the alien's chest. His dog sat calmly beside the wounded creature. The silence felt heavy, heavier than any battle he had fought. Every sound in the ruins seemed louder now, the distant crack of metal, the faint hum of dying machines, and most of all, the ragged breathing of the enemy beneath him. The soldier's training screamed inside his head. This was an alien, a soldier of the enemy. It had killed humans, destroyed cities, burnt homes. He had been told they were ruthless, that mercy meant death, that hesitation meant failure. But here, in this broken corner of the battlefield, hesitation was all he had. The alien's chest rose and fell weakly, its armor cracked and leaking strange fluid. Its face, though different from his own, carried something he did not expect. Not rage, not cruelty, but pain, pure, raw pain, the kind he had seen in his own comrades when they were shot down. For a moment he saw not an enemy, but a soldier like himself, someone who had bled for a cause, someone left behind in the ruins. The dog nudged the alien's hand with his nose. The hand twitched, weak and trembling. The alien's eyes fluttered open, glowing faint but alive. It looked at the dog first, then at the human. Its gaze carried no strength, no weapon, only confusion. Why was it still alive? Why had it not been finished? The man gritted his teeth, his finger tight on the trigger. One pull and it would be over. One pull and the danger would be gone. But his dog growled softly, not at the alien, but at him. The sound was low, warning, insistent, as if saying, "This is not the way." The soldier cursed under his breath. He lowered the rifle a little, not enough to be safe, but enough to keep the alien breathing. The alien coughed, its chest heaving. Words slipped from its lips, broken and strange. The human could not understand the language, but the tone was clear. It was not a threat. It was not a curse. It was a plea. The man's hand shook. He had never felt so torn. He could leave it here to die. He could end it now with a single shot, or he could do the unthinkable, the dangerous, the impossible. The dog barked once, sharp and commanding. The sound echoed through the ruins. The soldier sighed, dropping to one knee. He set his rifle aside for a moment. His hands pulled at the rubble, stone by stone. Dust filled his lungs. Sweat burned his eyes. The alien groaned with every shift, its body heavy, its armor broken. Finally, with one last heave, the alien slid free from the pile of stone. It lay there, gasping, eyes half closed. The soldier looked down at it with disbelief. Why was he doing this? Why was he saving the very thing that had tried to kill his kind? But when he looked at his dog, the answer felt simple. Because it was alive. Because mercy mattered. Even here, the man tore a strip of cloth from his uniform. He pressed it against the alien's wound. The alien flinched, its claws twitching, but it did not strike him. It only breathed, weak and shallow. The human muttered, "Don't make me regret this." His voice was rough, but his hands steady. The dog lay beside the alien, his tail thumping once against the ground. It was a strange sight. A loyal beast, a human soldier, and an alien enemy, all together in the ruins of war. For a moment the battlefield felt different, not a place of death, but a place of choice. The soldier leaned back, exhausted, his rifle still close, his eyes still sharp, but his heart beating with a question he could not silence. What if saving this one life changed nothing? What if it changed everything? The alien opened its mouth again, This time the words were softer, slower, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. The human could not understand, but his dog tilted his head, listening, and then licked the alien's hand. The alien's eyes widened with shock, not from pain, not from fear, but from something far rarer, trust. The soldier shook his head. "This is insane," he muttered, but still he pressed the cloth tighter. Still he gave the enemy breath. Still he allowed his dog to sit watch. The sky above rumbled with distant thunder. Armies would return soon. Scouts would come searching. If they found this alien alive, if they found him helping it, the soldier knew his life would be over. Yet as he sat there, blood on his hands, dust in his lungs, he realized he had crossed a line. There was no turning back. The dog had made the discovery, and now he had made the choice. The battlefield had given him an enemy, but his heart had given him something else. A chance, a risk, a spark of something greater than war. The alien's breathing steadied. Its eyes slowly closed again, not in death, but in rest. And for the first time since the war began, the human soldier felt something strange. He felt that maybe, just maybe, he had done the right thing. The dilemma human soldier sat in the ruins with his rifle across his knees. Beside him lay the alien, its breath shallow but steady, and near them rested the dog, loyal eyes fixed on both man and enemy alike. The fire of war had burned all round, yet here there was only quiet to quiet. The kind of quiet that pressed against his skull, the kind of quiet that made his thoughts too loud. He stared at the alien. Every instinct screamed to finish it. One shot and it would be over. No one would know. No one would question him. It was the clean answer, the soldier's answer. But the longer he watched the alien breathe, the harder it became to pull the trigger. The dog shifted, his tail brushing the ground. The soldier glanced at him and frowned. "You don't understand," he muttered. "This thing killed my people. This thing is why we fight." But the dog only tilted his head, his gaze calm, patient, steady. It was as if the dog was saying, "And yet you saved it." The soldier clenched his jaw. He looked at his hands, dirt and blood staining his skin. Whose blood was it? His or the alien's? Did it matter? He had wrapped cloth around the wound. He had lifted stones off its body. He had chosen mercy when the war demanded death. Why? He asked himself. Why? The alien stirred, groaning low. Its eyes opened just enough to meet his. Not hate, not fire, just exhaustion. For a moment they stared at each other, two enemies bound by the same ruin. The soldier expected rage, but instead he saw something else, a question, a silent question written in a language neither shared. "Why help me?" The soldier looked away. He did not have an answer. He had lived too long in the shadows of orders. Kill on sight, never hesitate, never show weakness. And yet here he was, sitting with weakness cradled at his feet, alive because he allowed it. He thought of his comrades. If they walked through the ruins now, if they saw him here with an alien breathing by his side, they would call him traitor. They would raise their rifles, not at the alien, but at him, and maybe they would be right. Maybe he had betrayed the war. Maybe he had betrayed the dead, but his dog would not have barked. His dog would not have led him here if it had no meaning. The wind whistled through broken steel. A loose panel clanged in the distance. The soldier flinched, instinct dragging him back to the present. Every sound might be scouts. Every shadow might hide enemies. Time was short, and choices mattered now more than ever. The alien coughed. Its hand twitched weakly, reaching for something unseen. The soldier gripped his rifle tighter. But the dog moved first. He padded closer and pressed his head against the alien's arm. The alien froze, eyes wide with disbelief. A human's beast, showing no fear, showing comfort. It was a gesture that cut through every lie of war. A gesture of trust too simple to ignore. The soldier's throat tightened. "What are you trying to tell me?" "But," he whispered. The dog wagged his tail once, slow and sure, and lay down between them, as if declaring they were the same, as if declaring they all belonged to one pack now. The soldier cursed under his breath. He was torn apart by the weight of his choice. If he killed the alien, The war would go on as it always had. Nothing would change. If he saved the alien, his life might be over, but something greater might begin. Could one act of mercy matter in a galaxy of fire? Could one wounded enemy change anything at all? He remembered the faces of his fallen friends. He remembered the burning cities. He remembered the screams of his people. And then he looked at the alien's face, broken, weak, almost lifeless. And he wondered if the alien carried the same memories, the same losses, the same ghosts. The soldier sighed. The decision clawed at him. The easy path was to end it. The harder path was to protect it. He rubbed his face with a shaking hand. His dog lifted his head, watching him silently. Waiting, always waiting. Finally the soldier whispered, "Fine, I'll keep it alive." For now, his voice was heavy with conflict. But the words were real. The dog barked once, sharp and satisfied, as if he had been waiting for that answer all along. The alien closed its eyes again, its chest rising slowly, not in strength, but in fragile survival. The soldier leaned back against the wall, his rifle across his lap, his mind racing faster than bullets. He had made his choice, but the consequences had only begun. Above them the sky rumbled, thunder of engines far away. Armies were moving. The war was not done. Since scouts would come, soon questions would be asked, and when they were, the soldier knew he would not have easy answers. Still, for this moment, in this quiet ruin, he sat with his dog on one side and an alien on the other, a strange trinity of trust, conflict, and fate. And though he did not understand why, deep down he felt the weight of it. Something had shifted, something had begun, and there was no turning back. The choiceless soldier did not sleep that night. He sat against the broken wall with his rifle resting across his knees. His eyes moved between the dark sky and the alien's faint breathing. Every sound in the ruins made him tense. Every gust of wind sounded like footsteps. Every shadow felt like an enemy waiting. His dog lay close to the alien, as if guarding it. The soldier frowned at the sight. He whispered, "You're protecting the enemy now." But the dog did not move. The dog's steady eyes seemed to say, "You made the choice. Now keep it." The alien groaned in its sleep. Its body shifted weakly. Its wounds still bled through the torn cloth the soldier had pressed earlier. The soldier muttered under his breath. He tore another strip from his uniform. He pressed it hard against the wound. His hands worked with silent skill, not because he trusted the alien, not because he wanted to, but because his heart would not allow him to stop. The alien's eyes opened slowly, glowing faint in the dim light. It looked at the soldier, then at the dog. Its lips moved, speaking in that strange tongue. The soldier could not understand the words, but he understood the tone. It was gratitude, and something deeper, a fragile hope. The soldier shook his head. "Don't thank me," he said harshly. "I don't even know why I'm doing this." The alien blinked, as if hearing more in his tone than his words. And for a moment the war between them felt smaller. The soldier looked up at the sky. The horizon burned faint with the glow of ships. The war was moving closer again. Soon the battlefield would crawl with soldiers. And if they found the alien alive, if they found him helping it, he would be marked a traitor. His own people would turn their guns on him. The dilemma clawed at him all night. Kill the alien and erase the risk. Save it and risk his life. His future, his honor. Every path was fire. But his dog stayed by the alien's side, every heartbeat pressing the truth deeper. The choice had already been made. It was no longer about survival. It was about what kind of man he wanted to be. At dawn, the alien tried to sit up. It failed, collapsing with a sharp cry. The soldier grabbed its shoulder and pushed it gently back down. "Stay still," he ordered. "You're no use to anyone if you bleed out." The alien stared at him, eyes filled with confusion. Perhaps it wondered why a human enemy spoke like a comrade. Perhaps it wondered why mercy came from the other side of war. The soldier gave it water from his canteen. The alien drank, coughing. Its strange hand trembled as it held the metal. The dog wagged his tail once. The soldier sighed. "This is madness," he whispered. But his actions betrayed him. He gave care where there should have been none. By midday, he heard distant gunfire. His body tensed, his grip on the rifle tightened. Patrols, maybe scouts. If they came here, if they saw this, he would be finished. His dog barked once, low and warning. The soldier stood quickly, eyes scanning the ruins. Nothing yet. But soon, time was slipping away. He turned back to the alien. It looked at him with sharp eyes now. The pain was still there, but strength flickered beneath it, as if the alien understood the danger as well, as if it knew the human was not only saving its life, but risking his own. The soldier felt the weight of the moment press into his chest. He whispered, almost to himself, "I have to choose." The dog lifted his head, watching him silently. The alien's faint glow in its eyes never left his face. And in that silence, the soldier realized the truth. The choice had already been carved into his soul. He could not kill it. He could not abandon it. To do so would mean betraying more than the alien. It would mean betraying his dog. It would mean betraying the man he wanted to be. So he made the choice clear in his heart. He would protect it, no matter what, even if it cost him everything. The alien seemed to sense the decision. Its lips moved again, whispering strange words. The soldier did not understand, but his dog wagged his tail slowly, as if he did, as if the language of mercy was not in words, but in actions. The soldier packed what little supplies he had left: water, a bit of food, a strip of cloth. He strapped his rifle across his back. Then he bent down and pulled the alien to its feet. It stumbled, almost falling. He caught it, holding it steady. "You walk, or we both die," he muttered. The alien nodded weakly. The dog barked once, sharp and proud, as if declaring the choice had been made, and the path had begun. Together they left the ruins. A wounded alien, a loyal dog, and a human soldier. 3 figures against the burning horizon. The war raged on beyond the hills, but here, in this fragile bond, a different war had begun. A war inside the soldier's heart. A war between loyalty to orders and loyalty to what was right. Every step forward felt like defiance. Every breath felt like rebellion. But the soldier did not stop. He had made the choice. And once made, there was no going back. The journey through ruins stretched far in every direction. Broken towers leaned like skeletons of a forgotten age. Ash drifted through the air with every step. The soldier moved slowly, one hand gripping the alien's arm, the other holding his rifle tight across his chest. The dog trotted ahead, ears sharp, nose low, always searching, always alert. The alien stumbled often, its body heavy with wounds and weakness. More than once it nearly collapsed, and each time the soldier caught it. He cursed under his breath, "Move, you have to move, or we'll never make it." But even in his anger, his grip was steady. He never let it fall. The alien's glowing eyes flickered with exhaustion. Its strange breath rasped harsh against the quiet. The soldier could not understand its words, but he could hear the strain in its voice. He could feel the weight of its struggle. Every step was survival for both of them. The dog stopped suddenly. Growling low, the soldier froze, rifle rising. His eyes scanned the shadows between shattered walls. The silence cracked with faint movement. Boots against stone, voices in the distance. Human voices, a patrol. The soldier's heart pounded. He pulled the alien down behind a slab of broken metal. The dog lay flat, tail stiff, eyes locked on his master. The voices grew louder, closer. A squad of his own kind. If they found him here with an alien leaning against his shoulder, it would be over. The soldier pressed a hand against the alien's chest. "Don't make a sound," he whispered. The alien met his eyes, and though it did not understand the words, it seemed to understand the meaning. Its body went still, its breathing shallow, its gaze fixed on the ground. The patrol passed only meters away. The soldier held his breath. The dog did not move. The alien's glowing eyes dimmed, hiding their light. The soldiers laughed as they walked, unaware of what lay so close, unaware of the betrayal forming in the ruins. When the sound faded, the soldier let out a long breath, his body trembling with relief. He looked at the alien, and for the first time he realized They were no longer enemies hiding from each other. They were enemies hiding together. He stood and pulled the alien to its feet again. "Come on," he muttered, his voice softer now. The dog barked once, and the journey continued. Hours passed beneath the broken sun. The soldier's muscles ached from carrying so much weight. The alien leaned against him more with every step, yet he never let go, not once. And the dog guided them like a scout born for war. Every bark, every pause, led them away from danger. By nightfall they found an old bunker half buried in stone. The soldier pushed the door open with effort. Inside was dark, damp, but safe. He lowered the alien to the ground. Its body slumped, eyes closed, alive, but barely. The dog curled at its side, resting his head against the alien's arm. The soldier shook his head. "You trust too easily, boy." But deep down he envied the dog's certainty. He tore more cloth. He checked the wounds. He gave the alien water. Each act was a risk. Each act a betrayal of orders. But each act also carried something he could not deny. It carried meaning. It carried a spark of humanity he thought he had lost. The alien opened its eyes once. It whispered a word, soft and broken. The soldier did not know what it meant, but he knew the tone. It was the same tone as comrades once used when they were safe for a moment. It was the tone of thanks. The dog wagged his tail slowly. The soldier sighed. "Don't thank me yet," he muttered. "We're not out of this." The night passed with restless silence. The soldier slept only in fragments. Every sound dragged him awake. Every shadow kept him alert. But each time he opened his eyes, he saw the alien still breathing. He saw his dog still guarding. And he wondered again if this was madness or destiny. At dawn they moved once more. The war rumbled on the horizon. Explosions painted the sky red. The soldier guided the alien through broken streets, each step heavy with danger, each moment one breath from discovery. Yet together they pushed forward. The soldier knew the journey was only beginning. The alien knew survival was a fragile gift. The dog knew the pack had grown by one. And though none spoke the same language, all three shared the same truth. Every step deeper into enemy land, every step closer to fate, every step bound by the choice already made. And far above, unseen in the clouds of war, eyes watched. Not all enemies had fallen. Not all threats had passed. The journey was not just survival. It was a test of loyalty, trust, and the fragile thread between two worlds. The Revelation's bunker had given them one night of safety. But safety was never more than borrowed time. By morning the soldier knew they had to move. The war would sweep this place soon. And if they were cut here, together, it would mean death. He helped the alien stand. Its legs trembled, but held. The dog barked softly, urging them forward. And so the strange trio left the shadows of the bunker, moving deeper into the ruins of the old city. The soldier guided them through collapsed streets, through alleys filled with smoke and ash, through the silence of a world broken by war. Every step was danger, every sound a warning. And yet the soldier kept moving, his heart tied to the choice he had already made. By midday, the alien began to weaken again. Its body swayed, its breath harsh and uneven. The soldier pulled it down behind a wall. He opened his pack, giving it the last of his water. The alien drank slowly, its glowing eyes dim. The dog pressed against its side. The soldier watched with unease. "You're too weak to keep going," he muttered. But he knew stopping was not an option. The alien raised a trembling hand. Its fingers drew strange shapes in the dust. Symbols, circles, lines connected in a pattern. The soldier frowned. He did not understand. But then the alien touched its chest, and then pointed to the sky, its eyes fixed on his. It was trying to speak without words. The soldier leaned closer. "What are you trying to tell me?" he whispered. The alien's hand shook. It touched the wound on its side, then drew another mark in the dust. The soldier stared, realization dawning slowly. This wound was not just from battle. It was something else, something deeper. The alien's voice came weak but clear, foreign words the soldier could not grasp. But the tone carried urgency. The dog growled softly, sensing the tension. The soldier narrowed his eyes. "You're not just a soldier, are you?" he said. "You're something more." The alien's gaze hardened, not in defiance, but in truth. It nodded slowly, painfully. The soldier's stomach tightened. What had he taken into his care? What had he chosen to save? He remembered the battlefield, the burning ships, the desperate orders shouted through the comms. The enemy had fought with fury, but also with precision, as if they were protecting something, not just fighting for conquest. And now, as he stared at the alien before him, the pieces began to fall into place. The alien pressed its hand against its chest, its glowing eyes meeting his without fear. The soldier saw it then, not just a wounded enemy, but a secret, a living secret worth more than 1,000 battles. His heart pounded. If the others discovered this, if his commanders knew, they would take the alien away. They would tear it apart for answers, and he would be branded traitor for keeping it alive. Yet here he was, guarding it with his life. The dog whined, breaking the silence. The soldier reached out and rubbed his head. "I know, boy," he whispered. "I think I understand now. This was no ordinary enemy. This alien carried something greater, something dangerous, and he had bound himself to it." The alien's lips moved again. The soldier leaned close. The words were soft, broken, but the tone clear as a bell spoke of desperation. The alien was not asking for mercy now. It was asking for protection, not just from death, but from what would come if the truth was revealed. The soldier leaned back, his chest heavy with the weight of revelation. He muttered, "So, that's it. You're not just another enemy soldier. You're important." The alien blinked, eyes dimming with fatigue, but it gave the faintest nod. The soldier cursed under his breath, his mind spinning. What had he gotten himself into? This was no longer about a single act of mercy. This was about a secret that could shift the war, a secret he alone carried now. The dog barked once, sharp and certain, as if telling him the path was already chosen. The soldier closed his eyes for a moment, breathing in the smoke, the dust, the fear. When he opened them again, his decision was clear. He would not turn the alien in. He would not betray it to his commanders. He would protect it, not because of what it was, but because of who he had become. He pulled the alien to its feet once more. "We keep moving," he said firmly, "no matter what." The alien leaned on him. The confrontation ruins grew louder with every passing hour. Engines rumbled in the distance. Gunfire echoed across the broken city. The soldier knew the front lines were shifting closer, and soon there would be nowhere left to hide. He moved quickly now, one arm steadying the alien, the other gripping his rifle. The dog stayed close, weaving ahead and behind, always watching, always warning. The alien stumbled again, its body too weak, its wounds too deep. The soldier pulled it against a wall, his breath harsh, his eyes scanning the horizon. "We can't keep this up," he muttered, but quitting was not an option, not anymore. The alien's eyes glowed faintly. It looked at him with something close to trust, something fragile yet unbreakable. The soldier clenched his jaw. He had chosen this path, and no matter what waited ahead, he would see it through. Then came the sound he had feared, boots striking stone. Voices sharp and clear. A human patrol too close, too many. The dog barked once, low and urgent. The soldier cursed. He pulled the alien deeper into the shadows, but it was too late. A shout cut through the ruins. "Identify yourself." The soldier froze. He could not lie. He could not run, and he could not let them see the alien. The patrol rounded the corner, for men in uniform, rifles raised. Their eyes locked on him. One of them frowned. "Sergeant, why are you off position?" Another's eyes narrowed. "What's that you're hiding?" The soldier's body tensed, his rifle heavy in his hands. The alien shifted weakly behind him. The dog growled low, teeth bared. The soldier stood tall, blocking their view. "It's nothing," he said coldly, "just debris." But the lie was too thin. One of the men stepped forward, his rifle angled toward the shadows. And in that moment the alien coughed, the sound sharp and undeniable. The patrol froze, their eyes widened. "You have an enemy," one shouted. "Step aside." The soldier's heart pounded like thunder. He raised his rifle. "No," he said firmly. The men stared at him in disbelief. "What do you mean no?" One barked. "That's an alien. That's the enemy." The soldier's grip tightened. "Not anymore," he growled. "Not to me." The air burned with silence. Then the rifles rose. His own men, his own brothers in arms, now aiming at him. The dog barked furiously. The alien weakly tried to stand, but the soldier pushed it back down. "Stay behind me," he whispered. The leader of the patrol shouted, "You've lost your mind, Sergeant. Step aside or we'll put you down." The soldier's chest heaved. He knew the truth of it. He knew there was no way back. This was the line, this was the moment, and he had chosen his side. The first shot cracked. He dove to the ground, pulling the alien with him. Bullets tore into the wall above. The dog leapt forward, snarling. The soldier rolled, firing back. One man fell, screaming. The others spread, their rifles spitting fire. The ruins exploded with noise. Stone shattered. Dust filled the air. The soldier fought with desperation, every shot precise, every move fueled by survival. The alien huddled behind cover, its glowing eyes watching. The dog darted between shadows, snapping at legs, dragging weapons down, a fighter in his own right. But the patrol was trained. They pressed forward, relentless. The soldier's rifle clicked empty. He cursed, pulling his sidearm. He fired again. Another man dropped, but still stood, and they were closing fast. Then something strange happened. The alien raised its hand. Its eyes flared with sudden light. The air rippled with unseen force, and one of the soldiers was thrown back, crushing into the rubble with a scream. The last man froze, fear flooding his face. "What is this?" he shouted. But before he could fire, the soldier pulled the trigger. The man fell, silent. Silence returned. The battlefield stank of smoke and blood. The soldier stood trembling, his pistol loose in his hand. The dog panted hard. Blood streaked across his fur. The alien slumped, drained, its strange power fading as quickly as it had come. The soldier looked down at it. "So, that's what you've been hiding," he whispered. The alien's eyes dimmed. Its lips moved in words he could not understand. But the meaning was clear. It was more than just a soldier. It carried power, knowledge, maybe even destiny. The soldier holstered his pistol. He crouched beside the alien. "You're not just a secret," he said. "You're the key to something bigger." The alien met his gaze. And for the first time since the war began, the soldier believed it. The dog lay between them, tail thumping weakly. The pack was whole again, though the world around them burned. Though enemies hunted from every side, the soldier knew the truth now. He had chosen to protect more than a life. He had chosen to protect a future. The confrontation was over, but the war was not. The soldier lifted the alien to his feet once more, his voice low but steady. "We move forward," he said, "no matter who stands in our way." And together they stepped into the ruins again. A soldier, a dog, and an alien, bound by choice, by trust, by something greater than war. Enemies to the world, but to each other, a family.